Oh, my goodness.
Across Britain, there's been a rise in extreme and specialist cleaners.
What is that? What is that?
Prepared to take on anything.
That's horrific. I've never been sick on the job.
And everything.
Look what's in here! Oh, I feel sick.
From dead body cleanups and hoarders.
It's to the ceiling.
To potentially toxic levels of bacteria.
This is about as bad as it gets.
Oh my God. Look at this. Wow.
Britain's extreme cleaners are on call 24 hours a day.
We are the 4th emergency services.
I have cleaned this place to an inch of its life.
Transforming homes.
Wow.
And lives.
Oh my goodness.
It's more than just cleaning, it's caring.
I can't believe it.
My faith in human nature has gone up there.
When people are in need, we are their saviours.
It's time for Britain to call the cleaners. With growing numbers of elderly people in the UK, more and more pensioners are struggling to cope with household chores. When the problem gets out of hand, it's the extreme cleaners who get called in. Like Maxine and daughter Jasmine.
I can smell the food. No talking while I'm passing the food. Okay. Hungry. Bad-tempered or irritable as a result of hunger. Oh, that's just ridiculous.
23-year-old Jasmine joined Mum Maxine's extreme cleaning business 2 years ago.
Working together is quite lovely, really. I like working with Jasmine. Jasmine kind of calms me down. Yeah.
Today, Maxine and Jasmine are in Luton to meet Craig, who's struggling to care for his elderly dad, George.
Hi, great to see you.
Hi!
Great to see you.
Craig has recently moved back home from abroad to care for his 84-year-old father, who has a heart condition. That's when he found the house in a state.
Oh! How long has this place been like this, Craig?
Well, my dad moved in the kind of late 80s, but it's never really been thoroughly cleaned. So it's been like decades, really.
Yeah.
George moved into the house after the death of his wife, but increasingly found it difficult to cope.
The fridge really needs cleaning. It does work, but he likes to unplug it.
Why does Dad unplug it?
He thinks it uses too much electricity.
Now Craig has to juggle caring for his dad full-time with looking after the house.
I've done little bits, but it feels hard to have the time and energy to do the whole house. It does feel overwhelming.
As well as a thorough deep clean, they also need some order in his cluttered and neglected bedroom.
It's just too much for me, I think, because it's just years of stuff. So it'd be good to get the outside help to come in. He would enjoy, I think, having an organised, nice bedroom, definitely.
Hello. We've come to help you and your son out.
Have you?
Yes. We're going to make it special for you and your
Hooray.
son. For you and Craig, okay?
Yeah. My prayers have been answered.
Oh.
Craig and George are leaving the house for 3 days while the deep clean takes place.
Bye-bye.
Lovely to see you.
That's okay. And not to worry. And up. There we go. All right. Tilt it to the side now.
First, the kitchen floorboards need a thorough going over to tackle the ingrained dirt. Time to bring in the industrial scrubber.
Craig said this place hasn't seen anything. Well, he didn't say any water, but it hasn't been cleaned for a long, long, long time. Okay. There it is. Can you see that, Jasmine?
Wooden floors can take years of abuse. The best way to naturally disinfect them is to clean them with a mixture of water and vinegar.
Look at this, Jasmine. And look at this. Wow. A pig would love this.
Can I have a go?
Worst part of the job for me? When I get left cleaning the fridge. That's never a good job.
No, Whoever opens the fridge has to clean the fridge.
I think an oven's one of the hardest.
An oven's a challenge, it really is, because an oven can have 25 Christmases in it, you know, 32 turkeys. You know, it really can be baked and baked and baked.
The worst part for me is going into a kitchen that is totally falling apart. The cupboards are old and tatty, and if you touch them, they'll fall off. That's the most frustrating part for me.
With 16 million hospital admissions each year across the UK, there are growing numbers of people too sick to care for their homes. When properties become severely neglected, it's the extreme cleaners who step in, like Yvonne and Angela.
We can't save lives, but we can change lives.
They've been running their business for nearly 20 years and specialise in deep cleaning.
We're from an army background family, so we've always been brought up to keep things clean and tidy. Our granddad was a sergeant major in the army, and we knew that we had to keep our bedrooms tidy at all times.
Doesn't look too scary.
Look at those yellow curtains and the inside of the windows. We've had to come in at quite short notice today to get this job done as quickly as possible, so I think by the sounds of it we may have our work cut out. Definitely think we've got tobacco stainings on the ceiling, the windows, everything is extremely yellow in here.
The elderly resident is in hospital recovering from pneumonia. He can't come home until the caravan has been given a deep clean.
This certainly needs a good scrub, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Oh my God, look at that cooker. That's grim. Oh my God, oh my life. We need a chisel on that. Oh, look at the sink. We're tossing a coin as to who's cleaning this one, I tell you.
Whose turn is it?
Yours! I did last week.
It's usually my turn.
The poorly man's family had tried to help, but the caravan was just too dirty.
I realised that it had got beyond anything that I could deal with. I needed somebody who was professional to do it. It just all got dirty too quickly for him. It ran away. He says it's a house behaving badly. That's what he calls it.
The elderly resident hopes to come home tomorrow, leaving them just one day for a deep clean.
Looking gorgeous or what?
A lot of this is nicotine. It really does make such a mess.
It absolutely sticks, Ange, doesn't it? This is coming off the wood. It does stick to wood the worst, Ange, doesn't it? Yeah.
Nicotine stains aren't just unsightly. The sticky residue contains chemicals which can be toxic too.
If this is what it does to a plastic door, what does it do to your insides? Look at that. So bad. When we looked at this morning, I didn't actually think it was as bad as this, but this everywhere is nicotine. That is, as you can see, look at it. Oh. Microfiber cloths are absolutely brilliant for doing this. So we think they're amazing for cleaning nicotine. Magic!
In the bathroom, Angela has drawn the short straw.
Well, that does not smell pleasant.
Open the window.
Can't, it's locked.
Are you joking?
No.
Seriously.
Up and down the UK, when people in crisis are struggling to cope, it is often extreme cleaners who are called in to help, like George and Dino.
Hopefully, it'll be better than the last one, and even more so, less smelly.
An extreme cleaning team who've worked together for the last 6 years.
If my wife seen how hard I worked, you know, on someone else's property, she'd beat me to death. You know, she would say, why can't you do that in ours? Because I'd just tell her straight, because I'm getting paid for it, that's why.
Today, they're in Stevenage on an urgent job. A pensioner has been unable to clean her 3-bed house for the last 2 years and desperately needs help.
This will have to come up. It's uncleanable. We can't polish a turd, as we say in our industry. What we know about the lady in question is that she's ill. She has cancer, so she cannot do a normal everyday chores. And I think over the time period, that's built up. So we've come in to give her a hand to take that problem away from her.
As the owner has undergone cancer treatment, it is vital that the place is clean and hygienic to help her recovery. But George has spotted a possible infestation.
Oh, look at that there.
That's definitely a dead mouse. Right there. He's not looking too happy. I think he probably died fat.
Mice can transmit diseases like salmonella and hantavirus through biting fleas and ticks.
Well, that's a mouse nest, because you don't eat plastic bags. I was going to keep a few of them, but now I'm not, because they'll be contaminated.
You definitely had a fun time on top of the fridge.
I think it's time we take out this fridge and see what's behind there. Yeah, okay.
What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! There goes the mouse. That's just ran in there.
How's it?
It ran back under there.
That's one here, live. The baby one. Here. Oh, there it goes, It's gone in the living room.
While the kitchen is getting a deep clean, Connor has the owner's permission to go through the belongings in the office to clear unwanted items.
Cancer. To find you out of the big C is devastating, to say the least. But be positive. I'm beating it. It gets smaller all the time. I still have a long way to go, but I know it'll be fine. She just needs a little bit of a helping hand. She's ill. She can't be having all this stuff stacked up. I think everybody needs a little helping hand now and again.
I want her to feel happy. I don't want her to walk through the door and think, OK, yeah, they've tidied up, whoop. I want her to think, not only have they tidied up, but they've gone that little extra step to make me feel that I'm coming back to something good. I think she'll be happy. I think she'll be very happy. Yeah?
After 18 hours of hard work, 3 bottles of disinfectant and a lot of elbow grease, the house is now clean and hygienic once more.
It's great, it's done a great job. No mice. They've been evicted.
Looks like they're not coming out to play anymore. That's a good thing. I'm happy. You happy?
I'm happy. You happy?
I'm happy.
Sound.
It'll be time to go.
George and Dino can finish up for the day. In Luton, Maxine and Jasmine are only halfway through their clean, helping an 84-year-old man and his carer son. They've scrubbed the kitchen floorboards, but the carpet in the living room is so bad it can't be saved.
30 years of dust and... oh, wow. This is Dad's bedroom, Jasmine. Wow. Let me have a look at this. Oh, look! Yeah. Got the, you know, the ER thing. ER on it. A lot of our clients tend to be from the army. And they deserve something back, don't they? Oh.
Putting order to George's belongings also provides a history lesson for Jasmine.
That clock is old school. Wow. What's that little hole?
That's to wind it up, Jazz.
Wind up for what?
For it to work. 1985, which magazine? Cordless phones. Now this is old. November 1961.
You was born in 1961.
Do I look like I was born in 1961, Jasmine?
I just know it's old.
Oh.
It's old.
With only 24 hours to go before Craig and George return, Maxine and Jasmine still have a mountain of clutter to clear. From the extreme to the everyday, these cleaners get to see just how dirty Britain really is.
I don't think Britain is getting a dirtier country.
No.
I think people are just lazy nowadays. I don't know, people just lack the motivation.
What I see is that more and more people are needing cleaners because of their lifestyles. They're busy, they've got to go to work, they haven't got time for cleaning, so they use a cleaning company now. That's what I find.
Going back in the old days, a house had to be spotless. The front step had to be spotless. These are traditions that we all grew up in. Those traditions have gone now. It doesn't really matter. If it's not clean today, they might do it tomorrow. But more often than not, it's nowhere near a priority.
In Stafford, sisters Yvonne and Angela have just one day to deep clean a caravan before the poorly resident returns from hospital.
We're going to buy some new towels, so I think we'll get rid of that.
Angela is tackling the toilet from hell.
That is a mixture of lime scale and unpleasantness. Well, that does not smell pleasant.
Yvonne is not off the hook either.
I haven't breathed through my nose since I've started emptying this.
An hour of scrubbing is starting to pay off.
Once you start cleaning, you find more and more.
The elderly man's sister-in-law is due to inspect the property in 2 hours' time.
That's bad. That is bad. That is just greasy.
It's been a long day of non-stop deep cleaning. Now it's the final push. "10 hours ago, the caravan was unfit for human habitation. Now it's clean and tidy, so he can recover in comfort." Sister-in-law Anne is back for the final spot check.
I'm hoping that it'll be comfortable and clean and that he'll be able to say, "Come and have a cup of tea," which he hasn't been able to say.
Come and have a look.
Wow.
It is the same one.
We have.
Remember how black it was?
Yeah, I do. Excellent.
Just hoping that when he comes home, there's a few things he can see and say, right.
He's just going to feel welcome,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Yeah. He's fine and he's got a lovely home to come back to.
Oh, it's lovely. I don't even recognise it. I think he's going to absolutely love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good. Now
You
it's
know.
tidy and clean, you probably won't be embarrassed and you'll probably be happy to let people come in.
I think, yeah, he'll move forward. I think it's a new era for him,
Yeah.
really.
Where are you?
I think he can pick it up from here. He couldn't before. It just was too much for him. But now he can, and I just think he will, and we'll help him. I think it's definitely a turning point. Definitely.
You've done good to get that done today.
We might look like bedraggled rats, but
We
we've
did our
done
best.
it.
Ah. Look at this.
In Luton, Maxine and Jasmine are on the final stretch of their 3-day clean.
I can get it nice and shining.
This is 30 years.
They've scrubbed the floors, unblocked the toilets, and removed half a ton of rubbish. Craig and George are back to see the results.
Hi.
Hello, come on in.
3 days ago, the house was riddled with dirt and the carpet was threadbare and filthy.
Coming into the kitchen.
Oh, I love the floor. It's like I couldn't have got it like this because it was just so ingrained.
We have a fridge here.
Oh my God, that was like black. Now it's white.
Yep.
Like when you visit other people. This is the best so far. I love that it's like, see the floorboards, no dust. It feels like a proper living room rather than just like a bit of chaos that we've thrown together, kind of. Try your chair.
Try your chair, Dad.
Try a chair.
Is that comfortable?
That's lovely, that's lovely.
I think
you have so much energy now. I see the difference
in here, yeah, because I think I was just I go and do stuff outside because I put off coming home, whereas now I feel energised here. I'm kind of in shock. It's hard to take it all in.
I think Craig can now look after his dad in a nice, clean environment, and that was the object of the task, really.
I just feel it's a new start for our life, like feeling more on top of things.
And perform a miracle, no doubt about that.
We done well.
Thank you.